Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
All right, here's the question from Nathan. What is your opinion on the recent changes allowing college athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness? For sports fans, you know this as NIL. For non-sports fans, when you hear that, we'll explain that in a second. Do you believe this is a positive development for college athletics, providing athletes with more opportunities, or do you have concerns about potential implications for the integrity of collegiate sports? Well, let me address that first. The irony is that NIL has actually probably brought more integrity to collegiate sports because now it's removed all of the edges and all the cheating that's involved with recruiting, which would have been always cash to families or cash to athletes. And since the adoption of NIL, where college athletes can be paid for their name, their image, and likeness.
It wasn't adoption. It was a court mandated.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Supreme Court said they had to.
That's right. And so now that is the law of the land. So what that has done is really removed a lot of the cheating and the backroom deals where you saw boosters causing a lot of problems. On the other issue, what is my opinion of it? I'm not a fan of it. I certainly understood that there was a case to be made that colleges and their athletic departments were profiting mightily from these athletes, but what has happened is I think it's swung too far the other way, and that with the transfer rules has now made it free agency. And so college sports mirrors professional sports, but in fact it's even crazier. It's the wild, wild west. There are no contracts. An NBA or an NFL free agent is under contract for X amount of time. The team and the athlete and the agent all know that the contract is coming up. In college sports now, kids can just simply declare via the transfer portal.
My coach hurt my feelings.
That's right. And then they leave. So I think we're in the wild, wild west of the early days. I think this will continue to morph. But to answer the question, I'm not a fan of NIL. I think it has it's just made the sport a little bit wackier, and I think it's made prima donnas out of high school kids who, by the way, are showing up at signings for their college in Lamborghinis. University of Alabama. That happened this year. Kid showed up at his high school, Dave, to declare he was going to Alabama, and he was driving a brand new Lamborghini. So that can't be good.
There is something wrong with this picture, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah,
I knew that would load you up.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of me putting a golf ball on a large brush tee so that you can hit it right down the middle, Dave.
Thank you for that.
What say you, sir?
Yeah. Well, I agree with you that the kids, they were due something, but the court ruling completely took it out of the hands of the colleges to develop something because the colleges screwed up. I mean, if they had come forward, if the NCAA had come forward and put together a plan where the kids could make some money and managed it and adopted that, then it never would have gone to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court just kicked the door completely open. There's absolutely no rules. Like you said, Wild Wild West. It's chaos. And the problem is several-fold then. We've got I don't mind anybody profiting off of their efforts, okay, regardless. I think that's called a meritocracy, and I'm a big fan of meritocracies. I believe if you work hard, you should get something for that, and if you have talent, you should get something for that. I'm fine with all of that. The problem is with it being completely out of control. Like I've had athletic departments call me and say, hey, would you come speak to the team? And I'm like, sure. What about? Well, we've got a quarterback that makes $2 million a year, and the guy blocking for him makes nothing. How do we build teamwork in that? And I'm like, I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, good luck.
That's like known as can't be done. And so, you need to restructure the whole thing, but they don't have that option because the court took it away from them. You can't structure it. You'd have to, you'd get sued again if you said, okay, we've got to put some of this money in a pool and the whole team benefit so we can build a team character. And then you add to it the portal, which every time you piss somebody off, they just hit the road. And if you want to piss somebody off, piss off a highly aggressive 18-year-old who you are training to run over other people, and then piss them off.
Yeah.
And be surprised that they're pissed off, because what you do all day long is teach them how to run over other people. And then guess what? As soon as you hurt their little feelings, they're gone. And so it's very difficult to build a college team now in this environment. It's very difficult because the kids, there's this disparity of income. And then the last problem is the same problem we've been facing when you and I have been working with the NFL, and our team's been working with the NFL for years. Going to these rookie camps, and we tell these young guys, you just got a $10 million signing bonus, and I understand, but $10 million is not enough to buy everyone in your entire family a $2 million house. That's not $10 million. Okay, that's $100 million, and you did not get $100 million. Besides that, you're in the NFL, which stands for not for long. 3.2 years is the average career. 88% leave the league permanently physically disabled in some manner. The divorce rate, 10x the public. Okay, this does not spell out well for wealth building. Okay, it doesn't. So let me tell you what happens to your $10 million. It's gone. In that situation, that's what happens to it. It's gone. You don't have it. And so, but you got bling, and you got a lot of friends right now that aren't really friends, and you're taking them to the Bahamas and go swimming. Well, good for you. That's dumber than crap. And and so this is me talking to NFL people, and guess what? Guess how far popular that is? It's not popular. So, but and now it's worse because now you're dealing with a 16-year-old. Because the NIL's dropped down into high school now.
100%. There are actually no limits now.
We're seeing it show up in high schools, and we're going to see it in junior highs. We're going to see 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds start to get payment to lead them through because we worship these sports figures, and it's just, guys, it's not good for the people. That kid that gets $10 million and doesn't manage it well, and it leads to horrible things in his life. It's not good for him.
Well.
So
you know what it's done? It's really killed amateur athletics because the very word amateur is now completely defunct.
It's not.
I mean, once you collect a check for doing something, you are by default a professional.
But it is pretty cool if you can show up for signing day in a Lamborghini.
I don't judge the kid, but my goodness.
Hey, there's a defensive Alabaman in here who said it was Ole Miss, not Alabama.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true.
We've got it pulled up.
It was an Ole Miss player. All right, I have no problem being wrong because I was still using a great example. So I apologize to all you Roll Tide
people.
You got to be careful.
You big blue people.
We beat you in the Rose Bowl.
There's that. Yeah.
Oh, it feels good to say. But anyway, the point is, you got an Ole Miss kid. All right, showing up.
Oh, that's a Kiffin kid. Oh, that does make sense.
Careful, Dave.
That makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a little close to home. Lane Kiffin left the balls at the altar, folks, and so Dave's not over that yet.
No, I'm definitely over it.
Yeah, you got a good coach.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. This has absolutely changed college athletics forever. And here's the other thing. You're going to see this begin to affect the non-revenue generating sports. If you like college,
here's the thing. When I was dealing with college coaches, and we're sitting down talking to college football coaches, and they say, hey, it's not unusual at all for some of the young men on my team for me to be the first male figure in their life to lead them well and to love them well.
Yep.
And regardless of race.
Yep.
And he goes, it's not unusual at all for me to be that guy. And guess what? He's not anymore. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that capability to love those kids well because they make more than he makes.
Yeah.
And they will leave as soon as he challenges some of their mythology that they're living their life based on, and or their behaviors or whatever. Tries to make them sit on the bench. Yeah. And I have to sit on the bench.
Here's one other unintended consequence. It's driving some of the great legendary leaders out of the game. The last 2 years, Entree Leadership Summit, I think it's the best leadership event in the world. It's our signature event here at Ramsey Solutions, part of Entree Leadership. We've had on the stage, arguably, 2 of the top 5 coaches of all time, any sport, Nick Saban in football and Coach K just this last couple weeks, and both of them left, and they've told Dave and I, we were both around them. NIL was one of the reasons that drove them out of it. It's just changed the landscape.
The NIL and portal together is just
both of them. Yeah.
Just real. So it's not good. It's not good for the kids. It's not good for the sports. That's the summation of it. And yet, I would never deny someone the right to earn money. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So you just got to figure out some way that it's done in a wise way that's a blessing to everybody involved. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.